Good morning, evening, or afternoon out there, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you might be. I am Kal Banner, and welcome to the Kal Banner Report. Tonight, folks, lock your door, turn down the lights, make sure the drapes are pulled tight because Kal Banner's got something a little bit spooky to talk about. Just in time for Christmas, when the whole world is thinking about the birth of Christ and goodwill towards man, Kal Banner has decided to do a show about Satanism. Yay! All right, yay! That is the celebration of Kal Banner's choosing to do a show about Satanism. That's right, folks. The other day I received a question in my email saying, Kal Banner, I think that my little brother might be worshiping the devil. How can I know? I don't know. Sometimes I get random questions like that, and I choose to answer them. So I said, you know what? Let's find out. So why don't you ask him? Of course, that's what I wanted to say. But in reality, Kal Banner is here for the people, always. So Kal Banner hit the street and dug up some dirt. Also hit the World Wide Web a little bit and found more than he wanted to. And a couple of things that amazed me soundly. We'll get to that. First of all, what I found out about Satanism is this. It seems to be split down the middle. It seems to be like you have this Anton LaVey side of Satanism. Now, Anton LaVey, for those of you who don't know, founded the Organized Church of Satan back in the 60s. And it is a movement based on the belief that there is no Satan, that there is no God, that we are all, in a sense, our own gods. I actually asked one of the guys that was involved in the Anton LaVey church, I said, well, why don't you just call yourselves humanists? And he said, well, damn, Kal Banner? That's actually a good question. I think I might have brought that up had I been on the ruling council back then. But of course he wasn't, and the name Satanism stuck because apparently Satan embodies the concept of the adversary, which is more or less what the Anton LaVeyists are sort of all about. Just kind of being, an adversary to the norm. And then on the other side of the house, you have the hardcore Hollywood type, what you're used to thinking of when you hear Satanists, men and women in black robes out in secluded farmhouses, carrying on dark rituals, sacrificing animals, and stuff of that nature. Apparently, yes, that really does go on. You would be hard-pressed to actually find a real Satanist who would tell you that they were involved in such illicit activities simply because they are, for that very sense, illicit activities. But from what I gathered, yes, they do still exist out there. Black robes, farmhouses, the whole 9 yards. Yes, they are out there. Apparently, this belief system goes back to before the time of Christ in a movement that was once known commonly as Luciferianism, which was the essentially the worship of the anti-God, so to speak, which of course would be Lucifer, Satan, the devil. But yeah, that part is very real, but it's also very hidden, very secluded. I had one person tell me that a real Satanist, you would never know. They do everything to keep up the image that they are completely normal members of society. In fact, many of them will go to churches, regular Christian churches, simply to keep up the image that they are, in fact, just, regular folk out there. There have been cases that I researched. There was one northern Mississippi town where, matter of factly, a satanic cult kind of ran that town. There were high-ranking members of this satanic group, and everything from the local law enforcement to the high school administration. So, in a way, they kind of had a chokehold on this city and kind of ran it the way they wanted because they had influence on every level, which further research into the old Satanism kind of did indicate that they've always been known to kind of place members, in areas of influence so that they could carry out their devious plots without getting caught. And a lot of people will go further and say that it ties deeper into the Masonry, but we, of course, do not have time to crack open that egg tonight. That would be a long one. There are plenty of YouTube videos that cover this topic, though. If anybody out there is truly interested, of course, just feel free to type up Satanism, and you'll find what you're looking for. I did, and I found a young woman named Venus Santanis. I'm actually going to post this as a response to one of her videos because, frankly, my God, I have not seen anything that lovely in a long time. Let me tell you something. If that's what satanic women look like, I'm almost willing to sign up myself. Pardon me as I take a sip from my very satanic Mountain Dew before I continue. Now, she actually had a very useful volley of information there. I suggest you look her up if you're really wanting more specific information on how the inner workings of it go. Just type in her name and I'm sure you'll find whatever you need to find. I frankly didn't really catch much of what she was talking about because Venus, I was lost in your eyes. Sorry, but true. Either way, before I put my foot too far down my throat here, the bottom line is this. From what I've gathered, yes, it is real. For the persons out there who had the questions about if family members could be involved, what to look out for, what to know about, well, there really is no real pattern of behavior to try to detect if it's the real thing. Because if they are very serious about the real Luciferianism style of Satanism, they're going to do everything in their power to not be found out. One person described to me that the real Satanists do not wear jewelry. They do not wear pentagrams. They don't advertise. In fact, the ceremonial garb that they do utilize is kept hidden, locked up in secrecy until the time that it's actually needed. So don't go out there looking for the goth kid with the pentagram on, because chances are you'd probably be talking to one of the Anton LaVey style of Satanists rather than the Luciferian style of Satanist. And if it is the Anton LaVey group, I wouldn't be too overly concerned about them. They, like I said, they seem to be more of a humanist movement, from what I gathered, than an actual dark ritualistic side. There are a lot of them out there. It is recognized as a real religion, though. Other than that, folks, I want input on this. So if anybody out there has some better information than what I was able to scrounge up, please feel free to post it on there. And also, Venus, if you are free sometime, please feel free to post that information up on the Kal Banner Report channel. This is the, you have earned the Kal Banner Report. Wow, you're good looking of the night. She's probably married to some dude that's going to track me down and give me the Kal Banner. I'm going to be on the receiving end of the satanic husband punch in the face there or something, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, folks, this was probably not as informative as you would have liked. Like I said, there is a lot of material out there that you can look for. There's also, what I was told by some of the more reputable people that I spoke to, there's a lot of posers out there. Now, there is supposedly, and this dates back quite a bit, I'm not going to go into it just due to time, but I will touch on it here for a second. There was supposedly a network of satanic cults that spread from California to Mississippi back in the 70s. It was a huge, very organized, very well put together group, and this was when this big conspiracy about breeders came out, that there were these women who were kept just for the sole purpose of breeding babies to be brought up into the Satanic Church. Now, whether or not any of this is true or not, like I said, for every person that's shown up on Phil Donahue and said, hey, I was a breeder, there's been another expert that stepped up there and said that it was all just a conspiracy. The Satanic Panic, as it was known. Anyway, folks, feel free. As always, I welcome your responses, your questions, and your information. Folks, this is Kal Banner, signing out.